Plants vs Zombies Replanted has been a big topic of discussion recently. Some of it being good, but most of it being bad. But is the criticism it's receiving deserved? Yes. So for what I'm 90% sure is going to be the last time, it's time to dive back into the series that makes me quite a bit of money. On July 31st, 2025, Plants vs Zombies Replanted was announced during a Nintendo Direct, most likely between a farming RPG nobody cares about and a farming RPG nobody cares about. This animated trailer featured a slightly off-putting Crazy Dave and the reveal that the original Plants vs Zombies game was getting a remake. Finally, PopCap were capitalizing on this extremely popular series and the nostalgia people have for it, and we're creating a full-scale remaster that I'm sure will justify it costing 4 times the price of the original. I'm sure. This was basically meant to be the ultimate version of the original game, with upgrades such as enhanced graphics, new game modes, and local multiplayer, which honestly sounded really cool. Sure, it wasn't a huge upgrade, but I was hopeful this project would be a true love letter to the series and would have genuine heart behind it. Turns out, it only had genuine fart behind it. As the months went on, PopCap continued to release videos and promotional material for the game, such as trailers and these deep dives that are meant to be a funny parody of live streams. This is about to be an absolute hoot!
What's up, hedgeheads? You are live with the turf titan himself, No Cap Shroom! Good luck! You're gonna be mashed potato boys soon.
Spud yeah!
Chat, we cooked or just french fried?
Who the hell is this video aimed at? If the point of this game is to bring back people who are nostalgic for this series, why are they marketing it like it's for 6-year-olds? They don't care about Plants vs Zombies, they care about Tung Tung Sahur. But I'll let them off. It's just a trailer. What really matters is the actual game being good and being worth the price. And on October 23rd of the same year, the game released to all modern platforms. And the reactions were not great. The immediate response to this game was really bad. People were not at all happy with this release, with most people calling it a soulless cash grab. So I guess it's finally time to check this game out and experience the ultimate version of Plants vs Zombies. What did they change exactly? Listen, I'm aware that this is a higher resolution than the original game, and in some ways, that's great. But to be honest, I don't think it looks very good. The original had actual charm with thick stylized outlines and hand-drawn artwork, whereas now it just looks really flat. The game can't seem to decide how it wants itself to look, with some plants looking visually quite different to one another. And I feel like this is down to 2 reasons: the use of AI upscaling and the omission of the original game's artists. First of all, I should make it clear that AI upscaling is not the same as generative AI and isn't nearly as bad. The term artificial intelligence has been absolutely ruined by harmful generative models, to the point where even hearing the letters AI puts a bad taste in people's mouths, and I can't really blame them. But despite that, the fact that pretty much all PopCap are doing is upscaling the original textures and then tracing over some of them is blatantly lazy, and the fact that they're basically selling an upscaled version of the original with a few changes for 4 times the price is, in my opinion, just greedy. Plus, you can literally just buy the original game and install a mod to upscale it yourself, and it honestly looks pretty much the same, if not, in some ways, slightly better. Nowadays, I think we're seeing far too many companies getting away with selling remasters of video games that simply just increase the resolution, upscale the textures, and then sell it for a ridiculous price. PopCap are not the first to do this, but it just feels like all this company does these days is slap its fanbase in the face. And that's why it's so disappointing that what could have been a genuine love letter to the original is utterly soulless. Furthermore, if the game couldn't be any less respectful of the original, the artist behind the first game, who has stated many times how he'd love to still be a part of designing the games, was not even contacted about this release. Rich Werner, who is pretty much responsible for PvZ's entire brand, has just been left behind by PopCap, and they're even including fake early sketches for PvZ1 in Replanted that weren't even made by him. So, what PopCap have done is take the artwork done by someone they did not make any effort to contact, put it through a soul removal machine, traced over some of it, and then sold it for quadruple the price. Nice. Hold your horses, MewZe, because before I get onto the gameplay, it's time to talk about today's sponsor, Red Magic, and their brand new gaming phone, the Red Magic 11 Pro. Don't you hate it when you're playing your favorite mobile game and it runs like garbage? Well, thanks to Red Magic's insanely powerful Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 chipset, you can game on the go with silky smooth frame rate and performance. Plus, with the help of Red Magic's new aqua-core liquid cooling system, you never have to worry about overheating. And with a 6.85-inch screen and a refresh rate of 144 Hz, this thing looks absolutely incredible, especially when playing my favorite game, KSI Soundboard. Yes! One of my favorite things about this phone is that it's packing a massive 7,500 mAh battery, so you can game for hours without even thinking of plugging it in. Plus, the full flat rear panel means no annoying camera bumps. It's sleek, smooth, and just feels good in your hand. If you're interested in mobile gaming, I seriously recommend checking this thing out. Win more games with the Red Magic 11 Pro. Check out the link in the description to find out more, and thank you Red Magic for sponsoring. But now for the most important part, the gameplay. And I am happy to announce it is fine. I mean, it is literally just Plants vs Zombies 1. You can't really go wrong with it. Playing through the game is just as enjoyable and addictive as usual. And to their credit, they have added a few new features I quite like. For example, you can now speed up the gameplay up to 2.5 times, which you could argue is only damaging my TikTok fried brain more, but it is really handy when getting past the first few levels of the game where not all that much is happening, and it also can make the game more challenging and stressful if you haven't already got enough of that in your life. There's some brand new game modes such as Cloudy Day, a mode where you don't get sun and plants are cheaper when clouds are covering you, an RIP mode where if you die in the game, you die in real life. And if you scroll down to the bottom of the achievements tab, yep, even past the wiggly worm, you get to visit China, which is cool. I just didn't think it'd be Chinese. It would be unfair to completely write this game off as an absolute travesty, as there are some good things about it, and I do appreciate the new content that's been added. However, along with these new additions, this game also launched with a wonderful collection of bugs. For example, up until a recent update, the entire game's music was completely broken. One of the main quirks of the original game was that as the levels progressed and more zombies attacked, the music would ramp up and get more intense. Whereas in Replanted, the music was just always the most intense version. It wasn't dynamic at all. And while yes, this has now been fixed, which is good, the fact that it launched like that just shows once again how little they cared about this release. Plus, there are still loads of visual errors in the game. Like, why the hell is Crazy Dave half off screen? What are you playing at, Dave? Yes, errors can be fixed, and I'm sure in a year's time this game will be absolutely bug-free. But that doesn't take away from the fact that they were happy enough releasing the game in the state it was in. I'm gonna be honest, guys, PopCap does not care about its player base. It's as simple as that. Plants vs Zombies Replanted is simply an attempt at making money off people's nostalgia for when they were a good company. Is the game fun? Yes. But is it any more fun than the original? No. Plants vs Zombies Replanted is a good game, but it's not a good remaster. I think if they really wanted to make a remaster of the original, they should have gone down one of two paths. Either simply release a higher resolution version of the game at the same sort of price, or actually put the effort in and remake the game. Rather than just taking the original files, AI upscaling it and gluing new stuff onto it, make it from the ground up. Bring back the original artists to make brand new artwork and music for the game. Sure, it would be different from the original, but guess what people could do if they wanted to play the original? They could play the original! Far too many times now, PopCap have made it clear that they do not have any respect for the reasons why their series is so loved. From Battle for Neighborville to PvZ3 and now Replanted. I am always going to love this series no matter what, but I think sometimes it's best to let things come to an end. I don't see a world where this series ever thrives like it did back in the day, and that's alright. Nothing lasts forever, and I think this series would be a lot better off if they stopped trying to make it last forever. Plants vs Zombies Replanted is a pathetic excuse of a remake, intended to simply nostalgia bait people who don't realise this series lost its soul a long time ago. Is it the worst game ever made? No, that would be Valorant. But it is, at least for me, the final nail in the coffin for PvZ. If you disagree, that's okay, but please just remember this. I'm right and you're wrong, na-na-na-na-na. Once again, thank you Red Magic for sponsoring. Check out their brand new gaming phone, the Red Magic 11 Pro, by clicking the link in the description. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Check out my MewZe live channel for gaming videos and maybe live streaming very soon, wink wink. And remember, the pea shooter was originally going to be called Andrew.